Hi, I'm gonna show you how I'd like you to do some counting with our when you're doing your rhythm reading, and so this is when you're just doing it out loud with your voice, and not doing a clapping or playing an instrument or singing. So for these exercises right now, don't worry about any of the repeats. So let's first look. We're going to do everything in 4/4. If you remember, this is called our time signature. Sometimes it's also called the meter. Like, what meter's that song in? Oh, it's in 4/4. Okay. All right. So 4/4, the top number tells us how many beats are in each measure, and the bottom number tells us which kind of note gets one beat. So when it's a 4, it's going to be quarter note, and that's all we're going to be dealing with today. So that means the quarter note gets one beat, but we have 4 beats in each measure. Now, if I write down just the number of the beats, we know there's 4, and then this bar line breaks it up, and we start back over at 1 again. So we know that there are 4 beats in a measure, okay? And I've written my beat numbers under where those notes start. And you'll see this first note, the whole note, gets all 4 beats. But if I just count this out loud and on the numbers, it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, without seeing my pen move along and just hearing my voice, it just sounds like I'm counting to 4 over and over again, keeping a nice steady beat, but I sure can't hear the rhythm, right? So what we're going to do, and this is, not everybody in the world does it this way, but a lot of people do, and this is how Mr. Frunk does it at the high school. So this will help set you up for working with him in the future too. So what we do is we're going to start the note duration by stating the number it begins on. So we'll start on the number 1, but we're going to hold that word out all the way through all 4 beats. And that means when we get to these 2 half notes, right? They each get 2 beats because they're half as long as a whole note. This one starts on beat 1 and we hold it out through beat 2, but then on this one we're going to say 3 and hold the word 3 out to beat 4. So for example, that means if we start here, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 3, and then you can hear it. So if I heard someone doing that, I would know without seeing it. If I heard someone go 1, I can hear that they're holding that note out for 4 beats. And then when we get here to the quarter notes, well, they each get 1 beat. So we're going to name them 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then here again, we're going to go 1, 3. Let's do this one together, shall we? I'm going to give you a 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3. Great job. Now we're going to skip that next line because it's just quarter notes and half notes and a whole note. We just practiced it with those. But let's look at this third line down. And now you'll see, I think we're probably pretty good with this first measure. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But now what are we going to do with these little ones? Because we have to do something. These each only get half a beat. They're eighth notes, right? Or TTs. You might remember ta for quarter note and TT for eighths. So what we do for the second one on the beat is we say the word and. So this is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here's 1, but that gets all of beat 1. And here's beat 2 and 3, 4 and. And then our last measure is, look at that. That's like the mirror image, the flip-flop of the measure before it. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So let's try this one together. Now, are we going to have any sustained numbers like we did in the first one? Not this time, because everything is either one beat or smaller. So we only have to really worry about doing that when it's longer than one beat. So let's practice reading this one nice and slow all together. If you try to say it with me and you make a mistake, is that okay? You betcha. It's totally okay. I just wanted to throw some hand action in there. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now this is our tempo, our steady beat. So we have to make sure we're landing on the words 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the same time, no matter what else is happening. Just because I suddenly have ands to throw in there, I can't slow down. I gotta be steady and know that the number is going to be at the start of every beat. Let's go down and look at this one down here because it's a mix, right? So who remembers how many beats we have in a measure? We're still in 4/4. So that means we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. So that we know is quarter note gets all of beat 1. Here's where beat 2 happens. Beat 3 would happen here. And beat 4 there. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, because our half note gets 2 beats. 1 and 2, and then it gets 3 and 4 and 1. And what goes here? 2 and beat 3, because it gets 2 beats. 4 and. Now I'm going to switch colors here because we've got some long notes. So we're going to say 2 and hold it through beat 3. We won't say the word 3 there. Here we're going to say 3 and hold through 4. Here we'll do 1 and hold through 2. And here we'll do 2 and hold through 3. So if you don't do it right the first time, it's okay. It takes a little practice to get your brain is seeing that 3 and it might say it. But just try to remember that that's what my little drawing here is showing you, to hold that first one out. We're going to go nice and slow. 1, 2, and here we go. 1, 2, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 4, and. How'd you do? That's awesome. Should we try it again one more time a little quicker? See how fast our brain's getting? 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. 1, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 4, and. You're doing great. Now, what are we going to do on this one? Because now we're going to have some rests in here. Now, notes are used to measure sound in music. Rests measure silence. So we can't say anything there. Let's start by just putting in our beats, shall we? We know we have 1 and 2. Guess what? That gets 1 beat by itself. That's a quarter rest. It's the partner to the quarter note. And we'll get all of our 1, 2, 3, 4s in here. We're not going to go any higher because we're in 4/4. We only get 4 beats in each measure. We also have to have 4 beats in each measure. We can't go from one for 4/4 to another thing without changing the time signature. We're not doing that today, people. All right, so now we've got our numbers in. Let's go ahead and find where we're going to sustain that pitch on a different, and hold the number and not say one. So let's see. We've got 2 beats here. So we're going to say 1 and go to 2. Where's the other half note? Here we go, 3. And that's it. Now, what are we going to do about these rests? Because the rest needs to be silent. So that means we won't say the number. We're going to think it and we're going to feel that beat, but we won't make a sound on beat 3 or 2, on this one or this one or this one. So let's try it super slow. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4. How'd you do? Awesome. I'm going to push you ahead even further to introduce something else. In our next lesson, we will learn about counting and what these special little dots do.